David Turnbull vows Celtic goals will flow from midfield. Charlie Nicholas tries to become relevant. At this point, most viewers say he's a prick. And big Joe Hart can be a Celtic title decider. All in this morning's Celtic FC news. Okay, today's thumbs up target is 200. David Turnbull vows Celtic goals will flow from midfield as he reveals a battle with Hatate and O'Riley. The Hoops engine room has been at full steam in pre-season, and fit again Turnbull is determined to stay on the goal trail. David Turnbull is relishing the competition for places in the heart of the Celtic side and the battle to be the midfield top scorer. The Hoops were at full steam through pre-season, as Ange Postecoglou's men rattled 20 goals in 5 games against decent opposition. A fair chunk of them came from the engine room, with Turnbull's slick finish against Norwich City on Saturday, making it 3 for the summer, while Rio Hatate and Matt O'Riley, alongside him, also nabbed a couple each. Celtic's front line looks lethal, with the lines of Kyogo, Giakoumakis, Jota, Daizen Maeda, Liel Abada and James Forrest all regularly on the score sheet. But the boys in behind them are hungry to get in on the act, with Turnbull looking to add to his already impressive Hoops haul. The 23-year-old hit the net 10 times last term, despite missing several months through injury, and he's determined to kick on again this season. He said, "Most of the goals we do score seem to be good ones rather than tap-ins, so long may it continue. I managed to get a few nice ones last year. I better not say the one against Motherwell was the best." The new signings have added to the squad 100%. They have all done brilliantly, and the competition can only be healthy for the squad. It makes you work harder in training and in games to cement your place. There have been huge changes at Celtic in the last 12 months, but Turnbull believes the Hoops are now a formidable unit. He said, "There was a big transition last year. They have great personalities, and they have been great additions on and off the pitch. They've brought a lot to the team. It's a great dressing room bond, as everyone's loving it. It's about building on last year. The goal remains the same, but the task is different this time around. 12 months ago Celtic were in rebuilding mode and in the position of hunters. Now as champions they are the one who will be hunted." But Turnbull insisted the drive remains the same in the quest to retain the title. He said, "It's just about working hard. A lot of people wrote us off last year, and we proved them wrong." Charlie Nicholas is usually a pundit who sticks the boot into Celtic whenever he gets the opportunity. In this morning's record, though, he has been surprisingly pro-Celtic in his assessment of the upcoming season. When I say pro-Celtic, that does not mean I think his predictions for the 22-23 season are realistic. In fact, they are pretty outlandish. Maybe he's trying to get back into the club's good graces, since it's always been evident he isn't welcome at Celtic Park. Nicholas reckons Celtic will win the league, Dundee United will win the Scottish Cup and Aberdeen will win the League Cup, while challenging Hearts for the 3rd spot. But here's the outlandish part, and I feel he's doing this to try and make himself relevant once again. Nicholas believes that the Ibrox side's season will be a catastrophe. This sounds like the good old days to me. Here is what he went on to say. "Rangers certainly have a lot more strength and depth compared to last season outfield. I think they can cover as many positions as Celtic, although their bench isn't as strong. That in the goalkeeping department is where Celtic have the edge, and why I think the Premiership trophy will remain at Parkhead this season. I expect a big improvement from Aberdeen this season, and I can even see them lifting the Premier Sports Cup. I do think Jim Goodwin will rise to the challenge and get a real turn out of Aberdeen. I think they could be challenging Hearts for 3rd spot. He has brought in a lot of players and spent money. Aberdeen have done well in the group stages of the Premier Sports Cup, and now they have to transfer that into the league. Talking about the Scottish Cup, I am also looking forward to seeing Dundee United. I think Jack Ross is a good fit for them. It might take him a wee while to get his team sorted, but I can see them coming good later in the season and winning the Scottish Cup. This could be a really good season if some of the managers would take off the chains and stop worrying about their jobs. I know it is easy for me to say that. You have to be prepared to go for it. What is the point in parking the bus against Rangers or Celtic? Interesting thoughts, but when you consider Van Bronckhorst has been a cup specialist for most of his managerial career, writing him off when it comes to both cup competitions is a bit naive. I have no doubt this will be one of the most exciting seasons we've seen in a while, but the reality is, it will be a straight shootout between ourselves and the Ibrox side for all three trophies. Buses will continue to be parked and managers will come to Celtic Park and Ibrox to try and grind out boring draws. Maybe I'm wrong and maybe Charlie will also prove me wrong, but I doubt it. We are in for another exciting Premiership title race, and I think Joe Hart could be the man to keep Celtic as Scotland's No. 1. Looking at the teams, I can see the former England keeper being the difference between Celtic and Rangers. Hart was a big player for Celtic last season and was as good as anybody. It will definitely be tight again because Rangers have strengthened, while Celtic are still in a position of strength. I was at Celtic v Norwich and the Hoops played okay. Both teams have game changers and match winners, but it is defensively where I see Celtic having the edge, and that is where Hart comes into play and makes the difference for me. He was a big signing for Ange Postecoglou's men last season, and I reckon he will be the difference for Celtic again. Celtic are great going forward and will score goals. The Celtic defence is still vulnerable at times and particularly down the left-hand side. I know Cameron Carter-Vickers will be important, but I do think Hart will be key behind him. Celtic will score a lot of goals, but they have to try and limit chances and goals against at the other end. I think Hart can help them do that. And on that note, have a great day, Celtic fans all around the world.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party.